I'm not ashamed to own my Lord, nor to defend his cause. Maintain the honors of his word, the glory of his cross.
Hello, I'm James Brown, and on behalf of the Eastern Church of Christ located in Toronto, Canada, I'd like to welcome you to Saturday's edition of Walking Through the Bible, a podcast where we seek to study the Bible and the Bible alone. Please stick around afterwards for information on how you can contact us. But for now, if you have a Bible with you, please turn to the book of Genesis, and we'll turn you over to Jeremy Disacamp for our study of the day.
Thank you, James, and welcome to all of our viewers. This is the 95th lesson in our study of Genesis. Yesterday, we covered Genesis chapter 27, verses 30 to 38, discussing how Isaac revealed to Esau that he was deceived into blessing Jacob. If you missed that episode and would like to watch it, you can find it and all of our other podcasts on our website at www.eastendchurch.org. You can also find them on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/EastEndChurchOfChrist under the Walking Through the Bible Genesis playlist. Today we're going to begin with Genesis chapter 27:39 and read through verse 46. The text that you'll see on the screen is from the English Standard Version, but you're welcome to follow along with any version that you have. So let's now read Genesis 27, beginning at verse 39. Then Isaac his father answered and said to him, Behold, away from the fatness of the earth shall your dwelling be, and away from the dew of heaven on high. By your sword you shall live, and you shall serve your brother. But when you grow restless, you shall break his yoke from your neck. Now Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing with which his father had blessed him. And Esau said to himself, The days of mourning for my father are approaching. Then I will kill my brother Jacob. But the words of Esau, her older son, were told to Rebekah. So she sent and called Jacob her younger son, and said to him, Behold, your brother Esau comforts himself about you by planning to kill you. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice. Arise, flee to Laban my brother in Haran, and stay with him a while until your brother's fury turns away, until your brother's anger turns away from you, and he forgets what you have done to him. Then I will send and bring you from there. Why should I be bereft of you both in one day? Then Rebekah said to Isaac, I loathe my life because of the Hittite women. If Jacob marries one of the Hittite women like those, one of the women of the land, what good will my life be to me? In yesterday's episode, we had Isaac explaining to Esau that he had been deceived into blessing Jacob instead of him. This, of course, angered Esau, even though it was the Lord's will that Jacob be blessed. Esau then begged his father for a blessing as well. Now, Isaac couldn't bless Esau with the same blessing as Jacob, for that was the blessing of headship. But he did manage to bless Esau with a smaller blessing. Unlike his brother Jacob's descendants, who would be blessed with the fatness of the land, Esau's descendants would live away from the fatness of the land and the dew of heaven. From what we will read later on, the land of Edom will be further south of Beersheba, towards the wilderness of Paran. It is also said that Esau's descendants would be a people often involved in warfare. They would also be conquered by Israel and subjected to them. This was fulfilled when David in 2 Samuel 8:14 conquered Edom and made them Israel's servants. In all this, there was a glimmer of hope, however, for even though Edom would be conquered by Israel, they would one day break free. This event is recorded for us in 2 Kings 8:20 during the reign of Jehoram, king of Judah, about 150 years after being taken captive by David. They would be again subdued later by Judah, but after the reign of Ahaz, some 250 years after David's reign, Edom would finally break free completely, with Judah never again being able to subdue them. In Hebrews 11:20, it is said that Isaac blessed Esau and Jacob by faith. Even though Isaac tried to thwart God's will and bless Esau, he fully trusted that God was able to fulfill the blessings on his sons. In this, Isaac showed his belief and trust in God. He may have had a weaker faith than Abraham, but he never doubted God's existence, nor God's power to accomplish his purpose. Because he was a true follower of God by faith, the kind of faith God required, living, active, obedient faith, he could also be forgiven by God for sinning in this regard. This blessing of Esau, though, was obviously less grandiose than Jacob's blessing, which caused Esau to hate Jacob. He thus said to himself that once his father died, an event that he thought was close at hand, he would kill Jacob for what he had done. This simply shows us the strife caused by not following God's will. Isaac shouldn't have promised Esau the blessing because it wasn't his to begin with. Rebekah and Jacob should have consulted God, for God wouldn't have used trickery and lies in order for Jacob to obtain what was rightfully his. Because of sin, this family was divided and Jacob's life was endangered. Rebekah overheard Esau's plans and told Jacob that he needed to flee to her brother's house until his brother forgot his anger. Genesis reveals that Jacob was gone for over 20 years, and from further accounts in Genesis, it appears that Rebekah dies before that time, never again seeing her son. What a high price to pay for not consulting God. With that, our time is up for today. Please join us, the Lord willing, tomorrow for our question and answer edition, as well as the weekly sermon edition of this podcast. This week's question is, can a good man who is a sincere atheist be saved? Well, the sermon will be titled, The Marks of a Christian, a Knowledgeable Person. We will continue our study of Genesis, the Lord willing, on Monday, beginning at Genesis 28, verse 1.
Thank you, Jeremy. And to our viewers, we also thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Should you have any questions or comments, please leave a comment below or email us at answerintheword@gmail.com. We'll try to respond to you as quickly as we can. We hope you will join us, the Lord's willing, tomorrow when we'll be presenting 2 episodes. One is a question and answer session, while the other is a sermon from God's Word. Goodbye for now. Have a great day.
I'm not ashamed to own my Lord, nor to